Hello lovely language learners, it's MORKSENSEI. In my last video, I went over what tools you should use when taking lecture notes. Hopefully you learned that it's not ideal to write down everything you hear because you'll be too focused on the task of writing instead of thinking about the information you're listening to. So then, how do you decide what's important to write and what you should not write? Well, when you take notes, you're basically writing a summary, and a summary includes only the main ideas plus any supportive ideas or examples, if necessary. Lucky for you, when your instructors give lectures, they often give you what's called lecture cues. Lecture cues are basically hints telling you to pay attention, or not, to what follows. Cues can tell you what important ideas are going to be discussed and in what order they will be presented. They could tell you that you're going to listen to a comparison between key ideas or a deeper explanation of a topic. They could also tell you when the topic is going to change. If you can identify words and phrases that are used as cues, you'll be better able to follow and predict the content of a lecture. And if you can do this, you'll be better prepared to listen well and better able to decide what is important to write. Let me give you some examples of lecture cues, which I can best explain by categorizing them into 4 types: organization cues, information cues, relation cues, and discourse cues. Let's have a look at these in order. Organization cues are useful for following the structure of a lecture, which includes hints about the topic, structure, transitions, and conclusion. Topic cues. A lecturer uses these cues to tell you the topic. Examples: structure cues. A lecturer uses these cues to tell you main parts of the content and their order in the lecture. Examples: transition cues. A lecturer uses these cues to move from one idea to the next. Here are some examples. Conclusion cues. A lecturer uses these cues to summarize what was said. Some examples are: after organization cues, we have information cues. Information cues are used to tell the listener when the lecturer is presenting key information. They can be used to provide definitions, examples, implications or results, opinions, and sources for evidence, meaning proof. Definition cues. A lecturer uses these cues to explain what words or concepts mean. Some examples: example cues. A lecturer uses these cues to offer, no surprise, examples. Implication cues. A lecturer uses these cues to give opinions. Source cues. A lecturer uses these cues to support or exemplify main ideas and claims. Okay, we've covered organization and information cues. So number 3 is relation cues. Relation cues are used to show relations between concepts. These are used to show cause and effect, as well as compare and contrast relations. Examples of cause cues include effect cue. Examples are examples of compare cues include contrast cue. Examples are the fourth type of lecture cue is discourse markers. Discourse marking cues are used to emphasize, to restate or rephrase or say again, or to show that the lecturer is leaving the topic a little bit. Emphasis or restatement cues. Foray cues. A lecturer uses these cues to show that the lecturer is going away from the main point. You might choose not to take notes after hearing these cues. So in this video, I've talked about 4 types of verbal cues: organization cues, information cues, relation cues, and discourse marking cues. All of these cues tell you when it's important to take notes. That was a lot of information, so I recommend gradually trying to learn these verbal cues. Stay tuned for the next video when I'll talk about another type of hint your teachers might give you. MORKSENSEI, signing out. Mwah!